Previously on the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. He gets to wrestle against the ace of New Japan. He's wrestling. He's wrestling Tanahashi. Y'all don't. And it's such a far-fetched random match. But Tanahashi is that dude. So the question is, can MJF compete with Tanahashi? Can he go toe-to-toe with him in the ring when it comes to the wrestling ability? The answer is no. So now it's up to MJF. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, July 1st, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast, and I won't be before you very long. See, my family is in that civil war. It is your host, Jeremy Pierce. Welcome one and all. As always, you can check out the socials on Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, the 215 on Twitter, and of course, Patreon. Coffee donations are always welcome and appreciated. And today, well, quickly, we're going to have the Money in the Bank recap. It literally just ended, and it was a longer show, kicking off at 3 o'clock p.m. as they are in London at the O2, and ending 6:45. It's rare that WWE gives us an almost 4-hour event, but that's what we're doing. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. All right, as you know, this is the second episode of kind of the reboot, and you know what we're doing. So first things first, before I give you the recap, you know I gotta give you that list. You know I gotta give you that wrestler spotlight. So first things first, here are the 5 women who would benefit most from winning Money in the Bank next year. Number 5, well, Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville's been here for a minute, and minus her brief but very, very solid run during the pandemic and her feud with Mandy Rose, she hasn't been able to do much. She's kind of in a upper jobber tag team currently with Chelsea Green, and she can do more. She can do much more. We've seen that she is very, very good on the mic, and I think given the opportunity, she would run with it. And speaking of Chelsea Green, number 4, Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green is a veteran of this business, and we know what she can do. We've seen what she can do. We know about her time in Impact as Laurel Van Ness, her time on the Indies and the reforming, coming back as Chelsea Green, going back to Impact and just becoming better. That time spent on the Indies has actually improved her tremendously, and she is so much better than what she is given with right now. Number 3, Michin. Sticking with the same thing, Mia Yim is another veteran of this business who has worked the Indies, who has worked Impact, and has gotten better and better and better. She can go in the ring. We know that. She's got a great look. She's got great skill. She can go on the mic. She's charismatic. She would be just a breath of fresh air at the top of the card carrying that briefcase. Number 2, this is a shocker, but Carmella. Carmella's the first ever women's Money in the Bank winner. She won the match twice, right? And she's the only woman to hold it for the longest time. She held it for almost a year before cashing in. And minus that run, and then a second run when she was with R-Truth, she really hasn't been doing much. She revitalized herself as that sexy Carmella look, but now we've got the combination of the sexy Carmella with the Prince of Statline, and I'm a fan of Carmella. She's improved tremendously, and I think she truly deserves another run with the Women's Championship. And number 1, Candice LeRae. Candice LeRae is the definition of always a bridesmaid and never a bride. She's multi-time NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, but hasn't really done much in the WWE. She is one of the best wrestlers in the business between both men and women. We know about her time on the Indies, especially fighting men, and we know the kind of skill she has. Just like her husband, she has played the undersized underdog and has just ran with it and can capitalize anybody. We know what she can do, and it's time for her to step out of the shadow and get her own spotlight. That superstar spotlight, somebody featured on this card is a superstar. Someone featured on this card is a megastar. And that person is LA Knight, the former Eli Drake, the former Max Dupree, has organically elevated himself to the top. He is organically over. He is super over. Yes, people have compared him to The Rock and Stone Cold in the way his main rhythms come off and the way he talks, but if you're going to copy somebody, why not two of the greatest? And there was thought of him not getting a push because of his age, but yet Roman Reigns, Sheamus, Finn Balor, Drew McIntyre are either older than him or as old as him, and yeah. So LA Knight, whether he wins or loses Money in the Bank, needs to stay at the top, whether that's a run as the Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, or even a sneaky brief run as World Champion. LA Knight needs to be elevated. LA Knight needs to be given that push. He needs to be given that ball and let him run with it. The guy's just amazing. Just watch the show and listen when his music comes on and the ovation that he gets. LA Knight can be the future of the WWE for the next half decade plus. And it's time that the powers that be recognize that. Yeah. Now, I won't be before you very long. Money in the Bank, well, it's over. It's a wrap. It just ended, and it was a really good show. It was a really, really good show. Was I correct with my predictions? Well, we're just going to have to find out. But the show is in the book, so let's just check it out. We are in London, England at the famous O2 Arena, and the crowd was hot. The UK crowd, they're up there with the Canadian crowds, the Chicago crowds, Philly, New York. Those are the best crowds to be. Let me throw a Puerto Rico in there too, because them dudes they were on fire. There was nothing on the pre-show, no matches, which kind of sucks. But with a hot crowd like that, you don't really need a pre-show. So we start with the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Butch, Shinsuke Nakamura, Santos Escobar, Logan Paul, Damian Priest, LA Knight, and Ricochet. Now, we start this match off, and everybody just jumped Logan Paul because, well, screw Logan Paul. He's the only person that did not need to qualify for the show, for the match. He's just here, and the person that was always over in this match was L.A. Knight. Yeah. So, there, I don't think there was a slow point in this match at all. So once Logan Paul was taken out, it was up to everybody else. Knight, Nakamura, everybody just beating up each other, and everybody setting up the ladders trying to climb up. There was a point where Logan Paul and Damian Priest worked together for like a quick minute because, as Logan Paul says it, we're both tall. So they set up some tables, and then Priest hits him. Ricochet dives under a ladder to everybody below. So now Knight's by himself. He's climbing, and he gets taken out. Damian Priest is about to suplex Logan Paul onto steel steps, and then Butch blocked it. Why would he do that? I don't know. That was just stupid. Sometimes your brain just doesn't work. So Nakamura put Priest on the ladder, and he was about to leap off, and Logan Paul took him out, and then hit a frog splash on Priest, and then Logan Paul bounced off the ladder after that frog splash, and he was gasping for air. That impact was pretty hard. Nakamura's back in there. He set up the ladder. Ricochet intervenes. And Escobar is here. He's got people on sleepers, and then Ricochet hits a springboard 450 splash. This match was just go, amazing. And it's hard to cover all of the spots. There was a part where Ricochet and Logan Paul did a springboard Spanish fly. They had a hard time staying on the ropes, but they went through 2 tables. Logan Paul didn't get all of it. His head bounced off that table. He looked like he was hurt. He looked like he was dead. But LA Knight, Butch are climbing the ladder. Butch snaps Knight's fingers. Knight falls. Priest climbs the ladder. Butch snaps his fingers, but Priest shoves him off the ladder into another ladder. Knight yanks Priest off the ladder, and fans are ready. They're ready for LA Knight to win this match. And then Escobar went after Knight. Knight slams him. He fends off Nakamura, and LA Knight's at the top of the ladder, and he's beginning to unfasten the briefcase, and the crowd is going nuts. But it was not meant to be, as Damian Priest intervened, tosses Knight off the ladder with a broken arrow. No one's in sight, and he unhooks the briefcase. Damian Priest is Mr. Money in the Bank. Now, I know a lot of people were upset. I was fine with either Damian or LA Knight winning this, and it was kind of shown. I mean, Priest had been losing a couple matches going up into this pay-per-view, so him winning wasn't a shocker, and this works. This works. Cashing in on Seth makes the most sense. It looks like we might be getting a Judgment Day split. We'll talk about that later. But this was a great match. WWE seems to have a cheat code for ladder matches. I don't get it. They just make them work. I just don't know. So that match went 20 minutes. It was a fantastic match and one of the better Money in the Bank ladder matches I've seen in a very long time. Next up, we had the Women's Tag Team Championship match, as Ronda and Shayna are champions, defending against Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And ladies and gentlemen, the ending, I did not see that coming. So we all expected Ronda and Shayna to win. No, Shayna turned on Ronda, and I was just shocked. Ronda had the match won. Shayna turned on her, mounted her, punches, carefully to clutch. Liv was in shock. Ronda was out. Tahana Bomb, Oblivion, new tag team champions. I did not see that coming. So I don't know what's going on. There's something backstage going on, because there's no way that they just get these tag team championships and they just lose them. Not only that, Shayna turns on Ronda. I was expecting a dominant tag team title run, especially after beating the NXT tag team champions to unify the belt. So I don't know what's going on, and I'm curious as to what's going to happen next. Next up, we had Gunther, Matt Riddle. What can I say about this? It didn't overstay his welcome, and it just shows you, one, how good Matt Riddle is in the ring, two, how amazing Gunther is, because this match was for the Intercontinental Championship, with Gunther defending against Matt Riddle, and Gunther is smart. He targeted Riddle's leg and that injured ankle, and man, it worked to perfection. Riddle made a couple comebacks, had Gunther down, kicked out of the clothesline, kicked out of the power bomb, and he shows his heart, but nothing. Gunther locks in, locked in a half crab and started slapping the ankle, and then applied a leg lock. Riddle taps. Gunther is a dominant Intercontinental Champion. But wait, there's more, because as Gunther is celebrating, Drew McIntyre makes his long-awaited return, and they clash in the ring. Gunther hits him. Riddle ducks. Hits the headbutts. Claymore, and we've got our next program for the Intercontinental Championship. If we go to the Intercontinental Championship page and look at the reigns and how long Gunther has been champion, Gunther has been champion for, scroll way down, Gunther has been champion for 385 days. 385 days. The Honky Tonk Man's reign is at 454 days. Gunther is 3 months away. 385, 454. Yeah, he's about 3 months away from passing that. Will he surpass the Honky Tonk Man? Well, we shall see. Next up. Cody Rhodes, Dominik Mysterio, and the match is what it needed to be. The crowd ate up every minute. Cody won clean. Dominik got all his offense in by cheating. Rhea was with him. And this match didn't overstay his welcome. I was predicting a Dominik Mysterio win. I got this one wrong. But that's okay. No Brock Lesnar, which really shocked everybody. But Cody got a nice little win. And this was a nice little holdover feud because SummerSlam is 5 weeks away. So it's time to get Cody back in gear. But Dominik is fine taking the loss here. And probably the biggest shocker of the night, John Cena showed up. Surprise. And the crowd went nuts. And it's essentially what John Cena was doing. He was like, listen, I love you. You love me. You guys were actually cheering me. This is different. It feels weird. But I'm here because I want you all to convince those in the back to bring WrestleMania to London, to the UK. And personally, I think this move is because of AEW selling out Wembley Stadium for All In. And this was a great segment. And then Grayson Waller came out and did what Grayson Waller does. He's perfect as a slimy little cornball. He was like, why would we do WrestleMania here where we could just do it in Australia better? I'm expecting WrestleMania to end up in Australia as well at this point. I'm expecting more international pay-per-views in general, but this worked. Grayson and Cena had a nice little back and forth. Grayson then attacked Cena, got a couple shots in, and then Cena just hit the AA, and it was a wrap. So this was a fun segment, getting the crowd hype. It was a nice little breather because right after that, we got the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And ladies and gentlemen, this was also a great match. Wow. Trish Stratus, Zoey Stark, Liv Morgan, Zelina Vega, Iyo Sky, and Bayley. So we had 2 teammates in there and then 2 wild cards. Sorry, why did I say Liv? Trish, Zoey, Zelina Vega, Becky Lynch. I don't know why I said Liv. This was fun. Becky's anger and hatred towards Zoey and Trish is ultimately what caused her, because she fell in line and ended up having handcuffs attached to her. She was never locked in at anything, but those handcuffs played a part. Trish took a couple good ups. She took a manhandle slam on a ladder, and this is what legends should be doing. Trish up elevated the match. Becky was great. Zelina hit a really nasty cold red on Zoey Stark. I thought Zoey was dead. I thought Zoey was over. and done with. But the person that was most over in this match was Iyo Sky. And you knew her and Bayley, something was going to happen with her and Bayley. And Iyo was always over. Anytime Iyo climbed the ladder, she was just cheered. We saw how over she was when they went to Puerto Rico against Bianca. But nobody was outshone here. There were so many spots. The manhandle slam, that cold red. But the women were out of their minds. Iyo is climbing the ladder, and Bayley tips the ladder over. Michael Cole says that Bayley just screwed Iyo, and Barrett's like, it's just instinct. So now Bayley and Becky are climbing, right? Bayley and Becky are climbing, and they're fighting. Iyo gets back up, and after Becky fish hooks Bayley down the ladder, Iyo handcuffs Bayley and Becky's arms in between the ladder, and they can't climb. So Iyo just climbs on top of Bayley, climbs to the top, and then hooks the briefcase. I am so happy. Iyo Sky is Miss Money in the Bank. Yo, this match was awesome. This was awesome. Now we have the ready-made feud between Bayley and Iyo. Trish and Zoey can continue with Becky, and Liv is the kind of one that's in this weird space. Not Liv, I'm sorry. Zelina is the one that's in this weird space. So we'll see what happens with her. But this was a great match. Next up, the World Heavyweight Championship match. Seth Rollins defended against Finn Balor. And the match was just okay. Nothing bad. I expected more from this match for some reason. But the game change in this match was when Damian Priest came down with the briefcase. So not all the eyes were on Damian. Will he cash in? And it's ultimately Damian being ringside. It's ultimately Finn worrying about Damian cashing in that cost of the match, because Seth won, and now Finn and Damian are arguing at ringside. And I get why Damian was down there, why not? Match could be over. But the match was okay. Finn dominated a lot of this match, coup de grace, and he was really kicking Seth's ass. And the match only really changed once Damian came back down. So it's tough. It's really tough. I could see a possible rematch, but Damian Priest is Mr. Money in the Bank, and all eyes will be on him for the time being. And in our main event, the Bloodline Civil War, Jimmy and Jay Uso versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. And when it comes to like the in-ring quality of this match, it's nothing to sneeze, take home about, whatever. This is about story. This is about pace. And the story that they told in this match, the crowd was hot. The crowd was hot, giving Roman everything. And early on, the Usos did their thing. And Solo, controlled somewhat. Reigns controlled somewhat, but the Usos were just in charge. And then Roman took a step back, went outside and talked to the tribal chief. Talked to the wise man. And the wise man tells Roman, do you want your children acknowledging him as the tribal chief? That's what he wants. That's what Jay, wants to take away from you. And something changed. And for a good portion of the middle of the match, Roman and Solo just kicked the Usos' ass. That's why you have a wise man. And every time the Usos tried to make a comeback, it just got shot down. Their tag team prowess. Remember, I believe that established tag team should never lose to tag teams thrown together. So, as the Usos are dominating, as Roman and Solo are dominating, the Usos start making a comeback. They start making a comeback, and the Usos hit the 1D, but the ref had got knocked out. And this is the story of all of Roman's matches. He always will skate by. So, the Usos, they're opposite turnbuckles. They're going for the Uso splash on Roman. Solo stops taking out Jay. And Solo and Roman have this really good tag team finish. First, they hit W-Ornagis on the Usos. Then they hit a Samoan Spike spear combo on Jimmy. That was great. Solo drags Jimmy and stacks him on Jay, and the fans are chanting bullshit because it is bullshit. Roman's gonna skate by. Ref comes back in. Ref goes 1. The ref goes 2. And the ref goes, oh no! They kicked out. And Roman is shocked. They've already kicked out of a spear. They've already kicked out of Superman punches. And Solo just beating the holy hell out of Jay, right? And Roman's is like, we gotta regroup. So Solo throws Jimmy outside of the ring. They clears the announce table. He goes for a splash because Roman wanted it, and Jimmy moves. Goes to the table. So Solo's done. Back in the ring, Jay hits the super kick on Roman. Roman hits a spear. Jay kicks him again. Roman hits another spear, and Jay kicks out. I'm sorry, it was a super kick. It was a super kick into a Superman punch, into a super kick, into a spear, and Jay kicks out. And the fans are going nuts. Ooh, so. And the replay shows when Jay kicked out, he accidentally low blowed Roman. And we've seen Roman do this, so was it truly an accident? Who knows? Spear, nah, misses. Super kick, Uso splash, Jay pins Roman. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. And the Usos win this match with 30 minutes, everybody. And the second half of this match really, really picked up, pulled the crowd in with the drama, the reactions. This was great. And it emphasized just how long it's been since Roman got pinned. Roman hasn't been pinned in 3 years, up until today. Roman hasn't been pinned in 3 years, and now here we are. Roman Reigns, winner, chicken dinner. Jay, Jimmy, the Usos exercise those demons, but I don't even think we're done here. I don't think we're close to being done here. But this was a fantastic show, everybody. The only real, disappointment was the World Heavyweight Championship. I even thought the women's tag team match was good. But Money in the Bank gets a solid 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10, actually. This was such a great show, and both Money in the Bank ladder matches were awesome. But that is our show. I appreciate it all, as always, for listening, for coming out. Next week, we will be revamping the WWE Women's Tag Team Division. That's appropriate right now after what just happened with that title match. Don't forget to check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, no Tumblr. Charismatic_Creations 52 on Instagram, the 215 on Twitter, and of course, Shotzi Blackheart, Zia Lee, Isla Dawn, Wendy Chu, Willow Nightingale, Bayley, and Gigi Dolan. Holla at your boy. Peace.